Why am I yawning so so hard right now? Like, what's going on here? Sorry. Oh god. Well, joke's on me. I got snacks. Oh god. Let's see. Let's. Okay, sorry. I've been checking a few things, but yeah, I'm just gonna be hanging out for a bit. There's been a lot. So I survived my second gout attack. I haven't been online for a while because uh, I've been injured, and I've been injured. It's been difficult to be walking around, but I'm getting better at walking. But I will say my currently my right ankle is a bit tense because I've been walking around a lot, so that's like it's still learning how to be a foot, if that makes sense. So it's just requiring a lot of physical therapy right now just to like learn how to walk again, learning how to like be normal again. So took some medication to like help it out, and we're just kind of going from there. But yeah, no, there's been a lot happening lately, and it has not been good. Let's see if I can't pull up Twitter. There's been a lot going on with Twitter, with TwitchCon in the past couple of days. Just yesterday alone I think it's either yesterday or the day before. But yeah, as far as like 2 days ago during TwitchCon, Emmy was assaulted, and this clip has been passed around through the internet. Charlie talked about it. Asmongold talked about it. The internet has been talking about it. And yesterday or today, Emery had to make a statement when she didn't want to. And But the clip is like terrible to look at because she's doing a meet and greet, and then this guy randomly like essays her out of nowhere. The guy next to him is so stun locked by the scenario that, because that's the thing, like right beforehand, like if you slow it down, like here's the biggest thing. I'm gonna slow this down because he is in his own world. Because this guy is just taking his time for a meet and greet with like his favorite creator, and like he's trying to have some chat. This guy comes in like a special appearance and just tries to assault Emiru, and then he is just super unclear of what to do because, like, again, what would you like in a normal situation? If you were, a lot of the internet can just say what they would have done, but when the grenade is in your hand and you're not prepared for it, you don't expect to come out of your house and randomly catch a grenade, and you have either the choice to throw it away or to keep people safe by holding it within yourself, or you, like, there are a lot of things that can happen when the grenade just falls in your hand and you're kind of stun locked into not knowing what to do. So this has been crazy, but you say she knew it was not safe. Yes, she still went for the paycheck, but like, okay, this is instantly a problem. But what the roast has, instead of chastising for getting that money, how about you focus on the creepy fuck who thought it was going to sexually assault someone? It's much easier to blame the woman. But that's the thing, like, yeah, she knew it was not, like, everybody knew that TwitchCons are, the conventions are severely, like, crazy. There's so many things happening, and there's, like, no guarantee of control. But even then, it doesn't change the fact, from the very beginning, before the announcement of TwitchCon 2025, Twitch, the company had an entire year to prepare for security, to prepare vendors, to prepare content creators for people to come to the convention for. And like, there's a lot of things that comes into making a decision to making a convention, and at the very cause of this reaction, it's Twitch and Amazon that has to make an event safe to begin with. Because if I go to PAX Prime, PAX West, the organizer of PAX have to organize everything to the very like minute detail of like, hey, where do we find the space? How do we find security to take care of like people getting rowdy? If anything, people are more upset that security wasn't the second thing that they thought of right after deciding to make a convention, because in a universally perfect world, you would think to yourself, let's decide on the event, let's then figure out the cost for security, then figure out vendors, because the security up top that takes the most amount of money is going to take care of the vendors, and then take care of the content creators, and take care of like things to attract people to it, because the vendors will bring their own things to make the convention, and the creators are like the keys where you jingle in front of the kid to like, hey, pay attention, let's come to the convention. I just wish that in this instance, security was the second thing after choosing to making the convention to begin with. There's Charlie Kirk, like, okay, I don't know why you had to bring Charlie Kirk into the situation, but also Emiru knew that there was a risk of certain things, but Emiru had to trust Twitch to begin with to make a convention that they are hosting safe. It is still their responsibility to begin with to like do that. Yeah, there's a contractual agreement. Yeah, everyone was required to do a meet and greet in uh, meet and greet in order to keep her TwitchCon show of cosplay. I kept hold on.
Want to be in the same place for two. So I had to cancel my meet and greet because of the stuff. But in order to, I can't cancel my meet and greet and not cancel her show because of the fact that the reason I cancel my meet and greet is I don't want to be in the same place for 2 hours because of people being weird.
Okay.
And then I'm under contract with them, so I can't cancel one and not cancel the other.
Interesting. Oh.
So I'm sorry,
I kept my
Emmy.
meet and greet because I wanted to keep my show. Surely it'll be fine.
I'm sorry, Emmy.
I'm sure.
For 2 hours.
Yeah, because like Cinna right here is another creator to where Cinna and the rest of the community, every content creator knows that conventions are pretty scary. Conventions are so scary that people have known to get sick after conventions to where colloquially everybody is aware of the con flu, or after a convention is very likely that you get sick. And even after 2020, even after COVID was like simmered down in 2021, 2022, I've heard people say they had they've called it con COVID. It went from being the con flu to con COVID, and that's just it's really crazy to see where like people aren't aware because they're not part of the creator space. But it's crazy to where from the very beginning of this whole creator controversy is the fact that Emeru, by wanting to, she had contractual obligations with Twitch by saying, hey, can you come, I need you to do a meet and greet and you can do whatever you want. And Emeru wanted to keep her cosplay show, and by keeping that show, she's required to do the convention thing. Cinna,
Because of
Cinna
so
had,
I had to cancel
yeah.
my meet and greet because of the stuff. But
And the stuff is like the sauce that comes from like, hold on, let me just make those louder. By stuff, she means, hold on.
in order to, so I had to cancel my meet and greet because of the stuff.
And I believe this was like within the same day, or either the same day, or something like that. Yeah, I think it's the same day, because within the same day of her being attacked, they hopefully canceled the rest of the meet and greet, and then Cinna and friends, and Cinna and Valkyrie are, is it Rachel? But Valkyrie and Cinna are friends with Emeru, so of course they're gonna like, Cinna's gonna say, hey girl, how you doing? You okay after the fuck's going on?
But in order to, I can't cancel my meet and greet and not cancel her show because of the fact that the reason I cancel my meet and greet is I don't want to be in the same place for 2 hours because of people being weird.
Okay.
And then I'm under contract with them, so I can't cancel one and not cancel the other.
Yeah, that's the big problem by being contractually obligated to do the meet and greet. So I don't know what Cinna had for a show or what she wanted to do at PAX at Twitch, but because she can't do her Twitch thing without doing the meet and greet. So in this case, Emeru chose to do her show though. God, it's really bad. Gets better when you heard their shows was basically held hostage unless they did the meet and greets. Yeah, it just really sucks because like Emeru should never have been through that situation to begin with. Like she's just a poor girl. She's just a small being that wants to do her show with cosplay. She likes doing cosplay. She would rather be in her room, I'm sure, to cosplay and play games because she dressed up as Luna Snow for the Rivals stream and stuff like that. So it's things like that that's really concerning. What did he pull out? Was that a pen? That looks shiny. Yeah, if that was a knife to security or dead to me because he would have murdered her right then and there. But, yeah. A pointy pen. Yeah, it is. It is. It doesn't look like... It's too shiny to be a pen. Like, what the fuck was that? You can't get people who... like you really pouring way too much of an effort. You can this sentence structure, God. This also proves that you can get people who like you really pouring way too much of an effort. Every woman in every streamer should do a disclaimer saying that they are a performative art and that they reserve a large piece of themselves for off camera. That viewers being entertained and that they are not friends but just members of an online community behind one performative personality. Okay. Yeah, it's there's so much thing that has happened in this thing to where there's personal space that being respected from Emmy. Stranger danger, it's someone that she does not know who's in the greater ocean of Twitch Twitch viewers. The area is the corner of air, so there's tape to like funnel people in one after the other. Yeah, like it could have been fine because like that. I'm slowing this down, but like this happened so quickly. That happened so quickly. Jeez, more people talked about it, but Emmy made a response, and I'm very happy that she made a response. Hope that she's okay. Hello everyone, I'm okay. Thank you for all the kind messages. Yesterday, so it was Friday. A man assaulted Emmy. Was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon and even in front of another creator meet and greet to grab me in my face and try to kiss me. He wasn't able to, but a lot of people have pointed out that it could have been a lot worse. Yeah, because there's so many. There's a barrier of entry. There's the barrier of entry of getting into TwitchCon. There's a barrier of walking from the entrance to this door, to this cornered off area for the meet and greet. And then there's the line, and he waited in line just long enough to then approach right after the blue-haired kid. And the blue-haired kid is just trying to have a conversation with his favorite creator. And then you can't expect him to, like, on the drop of a die, do something to, like, say, hey, no, that's wrong. You can't fault someone for having for not having the flight or fight response that people want you to have, or that they wish that they have. I'm obviously shaken by what happened, and it's not the first time I've dealt with something like this, but telling you honestly, I'm a lot more hurt and upset by how Twitch handled it during and after the fact. Yeah, because like not too long ago, like earlier this year, there was a IRL live stream for Valkyrie, Senna, and Emmy, and they went to like California, Santa Monica or somewhere else, and they were stream sniped. And if I remember correctly, I can't be wrong, but they were stream sniped by somebody. They were being verbally threatened by their lives. Hold on, let me see. Valkyrie, Senna, Emmy, stream snipe. In March. During early this year, within March, they were attacked right here, let's take Forbes for example. Earlier this year, these three girls were stream sniped by a fan, and that is not cool. This was by a fan, seemingly a stalker during a live stream, caught all on camera. and that was not okay. And that wasn't the first time. Like that was the last time I remember of Emmy being on the internet news and that happening. Like it's crazy to see that she is of many people who is a victim of like these kind of things. I don't understand how he was allowed to make it to me in the first place. The security in the clip who reacted is my own security. It's true, my favorite and usual security guard was banned from holding a stalker's arm to bring to the police. Oh, so this is super crazy. No, hold on, right here. This is extremely crazy. Where in 2024 she had to do something. What's up? She had security last year, and then all of a sudden, like, for whatever reason, like I had to read this up because I was so like crazy. Like her previous security guard was banned for life for protecting their employer. For holding a stalker's arm to bring to the police at the past TwitchCon. He was banned for life for doing a job that Twitch in the very beginning did not do. And like again, there's a certain graph to it. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Let me get this. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, here's the problem. Yeah, right. Let's make a list right here. Oh god, hold on. Where would it be? Sorry, hold on. I'm doing something. I was asked to do something and I'm trying to do it. Yeah, I'm looking for it right now. Hi. How much is it? What's going on? How much is it? What is it priced at? Does it say what it originally is? Okay, because like right now, like I'm looking through your shit and like I don't see the sleeve you're talking about. Okay. So like I was saying, there were several things that had to that should have happened first before it even started. Right? Here's the first thing. Planning to have TwitchCon happen. Let me give them like numbers. Planning for Twitch to have TwitchCon happen. Security. Insurance. Security. Vendors. Things to grab people. Like creators attending. Or can like events. Yeah, cause like honestly, like these are like the things off the top of my head that I think they need to like decide on from the get-go before even having a convention. Is deciding to do it, having the insurance for having it, having security to have it, vendors, events, and then things that grab attention, like creating content. The fact that her last security guard was banned is a problem. That's a problem all in its own. How does this work? Let's see. Let's see. However, there are at least 3 or 4 Twitch security staff in the area who did not react to let the guy walk away, as you can see in the clip. So they didn't even appear in the frame. Yeah, like if anything else, I wonder if the security staff that they hired, their job was to make sure. But like here's the thing, I don't blame the security staff that they hired to not intervene, because from the 40 feet or 20 yards that they were from Emmy, they probably couldn't see or understand very well what the situation was. If anything else, I feel like they should have acted before asking questions. Like, it's kind of like how when some like security officers are told to like or like some people in the police force, I think is it? Hold on. Is it? Is it still protocol for police to shoot first, then ask questions? The police are not trained to shoot first and ask questions. Federal and local policies require that an officer use deadly force. That use of deadly force must be objectively reasonable. You know, and here's the thing. Based on that, is a popular perception, but is not official protocol. Law enforcement prioritizes the preservation of human life and uses and use of de-escalation tactics. Yeah, so ultimately, security should have done a situation where it is like, do something, then ask questions later, because things got out of hand real quick, and it is crazy. Let's see. The woman who is walking me away is my own personal manager, and behind the booth, the only two people who were checking on me and comforting me were her and my friend. None of the TwitchCon staff came to ask what happened or if I was okay. That's crazy. My friend who was present told me Twitch security were also behind the booth afterwards, joking about how they didn't even see what happened and immediately laughed and moved on to talk about something else. That is not okay. Just for the fact that the whole point of you being security is to make sure that people are safe, and it's not your place to make a joke about anything. That is an L takes. Emmy, please take somebody to court. So if no one was checking if I was okay or if I need anything, and they let the guy run away initially, and I have no idea what anyone hired to keep the event safe was doing. In Twitch's statement, which I do have somewhere, they said that the guy was immediately caught and detained, which doesn't look to be true. He was allowed to walk away from the meet and greet, and she didn't hear, and I didn't and she didn't hear he was caught until hours after he attacked her, and it felt like this only happened because of my manager pressing for it, not because Twitch staff presently thought it was a big deal. That is the craziest thing, because like at a very simple level, they don't believe apparently that sexual assault was a huge thing, which is totally crazy. Like this sexual assault was not a big thing. That was crazy. I have a lot more I want to say, but I will say it on stream later today. Which like she did, like she made a whole video stream about it. I'll watch it in a couple of days because there's a whole 3-day rule when it comes to like a reaction content. But for Asmongold, he's friends with her, so sure, why not? Thank you guys for sorry about all yet. Sorry you all had to see that. This is definitely my last TwitchCon. It saddens me to say, as a 10-year off and on attendee of TwitchCon, I think other creators should seriously consider not attending in the future. I did not feel cared for or protected, even bringing my own security and staff. I can't imagine how creators without these would feel. Stay safe. Editor uploaded my VOD when I talked about stuff I didn't. Where I talked about the stuff I didn't include in this post. And I want to watch that in a couple of days because it's still a fresh video. I'm letting it cook, and then when it's ready for me to like react, I do want to look at this because this is really crazy because Twitch as a community has been very toxic and kick streamers aren't any better because, and there's been also posts regarding TwitchCon to where some people, and like Amarath for example, they came to TwitchCon to like poke fun at Hassan Piker because of the whole Collargate thing. Someone dressed up as like Kaya, and Amarath dressed up as Hassan Piker, and they did the whole Collargate meme to also bring awareness to where this is not okay. Let's see a couple of like posts, but let's see. Carnage, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Absolute height of unprofessionalism from Twitch. Susie Chan, real great. It's horrible that staff barely reacted and that you were denied from having your own security guard because they banned him from doing his job. Twitch continues to prove their lack of care for creators. That is extremely felt, especially with like the whole Collargate. There's been many instances where Hassan Piker has done things on stream and filmed and took photos of a crime where he protested. He participated on a protest on a freeway. Not good. And yet Hassan never gets any backlash. He never gets any punishment from Twitch. So sorry you had to deal with this. I hope this pushes Twitch to finally take your concerns seriously. I like Iman and her content. The problem is for Iman, allegedly Valkyrie is dating Hassan, and by association, Iman is. I feel like, in my opinion, that as a friend of, as a, I don't know how friendly Iman is to Valkyrie or Hassan, but I feel, in my tin hat opinion, that if I was friends with somebody, Iman has a very easy. It's easier for Iman to excuse some things that her friends have done because she's her friend. She's their friend. She's seen them in better instances. Friends would downplay other things that their friends have done. That's just the kind of thing to it. It's just really crazy. I don't know who Bonnie is. Hey, Senna. I love you and proud of you for speaking for yourself. Hope to see you today and give you the biggest hug. And we saw that, and there's a clip later talking about it. There was a clip prior talking about it. You're so strong. So sorry you went through this. It's awful that TwitchCon safety concerns were an issue even before the event, but they still didn't take it seriously. I'm so glad that you're okay and hope that they learn from this. Well, Ray, if you talk to your boyfriend Hassan Piker, who has... Wait, what is the head? Who is the head again? Head of Twitch. The fact that Dan Clancy is a huge fan of Hassan, I'm sure, Ray, you can tell Hassan to tell Dan Clancy that they can fix this whole thing with the attention, but this caught my attention the most. I'm so sorry for you and had to go through this nightmare again. This is something so terrifying, and I'm horrified that this was allowed to ever happen. I'm so glad that you're okay, and I really hope that Twitch learns how to take responsibility. Jeez, man. Yeah, Dan Clancy has been one of the biggest issues, in my opinion, based on recent things. Especially where Dan Clancy almost refuses to follow through with certain disciplinary measures that Hassan should have had, but people like Asmongold and Tectone receives instead. Because if Tectone and Asmon did the things that Hassan has done, they would have been banned severely. But Hassan, it's okay. If it was Tectone or Asmon that were assaulted, that would get more news than a female creator, or it would get more. Here's a funny thing. If I have the tinfoil hat opinion or belief that if Hassan Piker was the one that was assaulted, Dan Clancy himself would have gone in with the RKO and saved his boy. Otherwise, it's incredibly crazy how unprotected everybody is. Because I have to remind you guys, in my list of things that you should be doing, you start by having the idea of having TwitchCon happen, and then you figure out the steps afterwards. You know what? I was wrong. Hold on. Security, and then insurance. Security and insurance should have been switched. So they should have figured out the security of the convention, then the insurances to have just in case, and then vendors, and then people like Emmy. That was not that. They didn't follow the plan. They didn't follow the plan, which is crazy. And then this was also another thing that happened. And here's the craziest clip. I don't know if it's Dan Clancy, but for the fact that this will have happened at TwitchCon is wild. That didn't. Hold on. Let's see. That's crazy. Dan Clancy, Lambs creator at. I mean, it looks like it. It looks like Dan Clancy, but it is super crazy though. And like, here's the thing. Thank you, Yeet, by the way. You know what? I'm gonna subscribe. I'm gonna follow you. No, I don't want to. I don't have money to subscribe. No. I'm gonna follow. But Moist Critical drops a video about Emmy Rue at TwitchCon, which I think happened. I think he dropped the video yesterday when the thing happened. Like on, I don't know how quickly that happened, but.
And in fact, it wasn't until her manager pressed them for action that they did anything at all. That's unhinged. They didn't want to, jump into action after a fucking assault just took place. I just don't get it. That's completely unhinged. It almost feels like maybe they're more angry about Emiru's bodyguard there shoving the guy. Like maybe they're thinking about banning him from Twitch events in the future or something. Like it doesn't seem like their priority is safety. If they were going to just let this guy walk away until Emiru's manager had to force their hand to do something, this is just not a safe environment. And this isn't a new criticism of TwitchCon. This has been consistently something that people have spoken out about for years with TwitchCon. Like, I'm sure a lot of you have heard the horror stories that have been reported numerous times in the past at previous TwitchCons about like drink spiking or the lack of security presence, stuff like.
Hold on, wait. That is the first. Paige Smithos got her drink spiked at TwitchCon. Some people spiked food and drinks they bring us gifts for entering the con. What? Two streamers claim that the drinks were spiked at separate locations outside of Twitch. 2019, Keemstar admits mistake after Twitch streamer gets roofied. What the fuck?
Like that. It has been something that people have mentioned numerous times, and every time Twitch tries to assure the community that, they're really taking security seriously this time around. This time, it's fucking locked down. There's going to be no issues. And like clockwork, there's always seemingly some kind of big security concern or something that arises at TwitchCon. It's just, I don't understand how they're not doing anything to, like, remedy it.
And I can understand, here's the only thing that I can understand from the situation to where it's a matter of scaling. It's a scaling problem where the scale of which that TwitchCon is made is so incredibly high, it's difficult to equally ramp how much security you should have, like, for an event like that. Like, again, if I were to make TwitchCon, hold on, let's hold on. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I would have. Here's the rubric that I would have had. If I hosted TwitchCon, first thing is the plan to have it, and then the second thing is the security to have it, and then you need the insurance to cover the security and plans to have it, and then the insurance is going to cover the vendors that happens to attract people, and the events and the things that grab people like creators attending. There's a certain rubric that needs to happen, but the problem is, but the huge problem is, how do you accommodate for like 100,000 people? How do you do that for 100K? The question is, how do you do it for? Yeah, like worst case scenario, there you can have 100,000 people, and that's even before you have like the vendors, and even before counting vendors, even before counting staff. Like you need a certain amount. How much security do you hire, train for at most 100K? Like those are questions you have to figure out too. How much security do you have to train? How much security do you have to hire to host a 100K party? Like that is the biggest thing to like figure out, and that's just wild to look at. Let's just hear from again.
And in fact, it wasn't until her manager pressed them for action that they did anything at all. That's unhinged. They didn't want to, jump into action after a fucking assault just took place? I just don't get it. That's completely unhinged. It almost feels like maybe they're more angry about Emiru's bodyguard there shoving the guy. Like maybe they're thinking about banning him from Twitch events in the future or something. Like it doesn't seem like their priority is safety. If they were going to just let this guy walk away until Emiru's manager had to force their hand to do something, this is just not a safe environment. And this isn't a new criticism of TwitchCon.
There was a thing. There was a response made by Twitch that's saying that they caught and detained him, which according to Emmy was a lie, because you can see in the clip right here, it's sexual assault. Her personal security pushes him out, and like within this clip, there's probably security on left and the right, but they're so far from the action that they're distracted from everything but the content creator herself. It's incredibly crazy. The cheapest course of action is hoping it gets swept under the rug. That way these companies avoid a PR disaster. And like that's not entirely wrong, but thanks to people who repost these things and who like film these videos, it's because of these people that something can happen. Twitch appeals to the lowest common denominator. It looks for profit, kids, degenerates. It's like TikTok but long form, I suppose. It's more like the other way around. TikTok is Twitch that is faster. Wow. Then also like this is the not Dan Clancy like flipping a person and dropping her. Like that's the craziest thing. To be honest, Twitch did so badly that considering future events like this is just getting ready to be sued. That is wild. And even her, Casey, which I don't know who Casey is. She's wearing this mask for her own health risk. Because she does not want to get con COVID. But the fact that she's been told to like take off her mask every time is almost annoying, because every time you take off that mask, you walk a safe enough distance from the person who told you to take it off and put it back on. She felt unsafe to begin with, and people are making her twice as unsafe by exposing her to things that she doesn't want to get exposed to. They told me I couldn't wear sunglasses. They give us sunglasses as a parting gift, then give us sunglasses. Oh, that's crazy. The glare on the mask messes with the AI facial recognition. It's annoying, but it's considered a necessary evil. Jeez, man. Wearing a mask under a mask. You should probably do that, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. So, there's another thing I pulled up, because I pulled up a lot of things. I wanted to see a lot of things before I look at some, like, gaming gaming trailers because I missed out on a lot of things. I missed out on things from Gamescom, and I missed out on things from like the recent Tokyo Game Show. Missed out a lot, but I wanted to check this out. Check these things out from Twitter before going forward with what we're doing. Emeru says Twitch lied to their statements. Oh, she said that. Yeah, this will be her last TwitchCon. But again, like, in every other angle, Twitch, it almost looks like Twitch is not really doing anything. And yeah, there's nobody there, barely anybody there. And this looks like a person, this looks like a fan. And the fan, what do you expect a normal person to do in a situation like that? Like her manager walking her behind the whole thing, very good job. But what is the guy supposed to do? Because you see Emmy signing the blue-haired guy's badge, and then what is he supposed to do? Like, you don't like that is the craziest thing people were like attacking this kid for. Clancy needs to step down immediately, killing the company. What? Yeah, that's got the alleged person who assaulted just walked out of the front door leisurely. He was not arrested. He was out of the facility. He was out of the vicinity and out of their hands. That is the craziest thing. Yeah, and like the fact Emmy mentioned that like Twitch staff barely did anything. That is incredibly crazy. What we need to do is doing the shame award. We need to shame people, put them on blast. Do not dox them, but we need to set an example to where being stupid is stupid, and you need to get punished sometimes for being stupid, you know? Like, if you stupidly choose to eat a ghost pepper, your punishment is the reaction that you get from eating ghost pepper. Jeez, he was not detained at all. He was walked outside on his own, leaving him free to harass others. That's crazy. They couldn't stop it, like, and people laughed behind Emmy apparently. But this happened. But this cool thing happened with the BBNO and what is it? Iron Mouse and BBNO Mula. I still don't know how to say his name. When the internet user doesn't use the internet to understand the lore of why Iron Mouse isn't in person. So Iron Mouse isn't there. Yeah, she's with the pink hair. Oh my, this person is a fucking troll. She's a girl in Puerto Rico that has a fucked up immune system, so she streams. Since she doesn't want to meet people. You know, that's true. The fact that since she doesn't want to be sexually assaulted like Emmy, she uses an avatar. Well, she's there in the screen because she sickness. But like, geez, man, this internet user crazy. But hey Zach, hold on. Let me put you on blast.
Honestly, like, I really hope somebody at Amazon is watching, because what I want you to understand is that the moderation team at Twitch is completely deranged. The advertising team is completely misguided, and the executive team is completely disconnected. At all levels of this organization, they fail. And we're in a situation now where it's gotten so bad that people's real lives and livelihoods are being affected by this. You can say that, oh, it doesn't matter, it's just words on a page or whatever, but when you have conventions, I think this is going to be the last TwitchCon, by the way. I cannot imagine anybody ever even thinking to go to another TwitchCon after this. This is it. It's over. Why the fuck would anybody go to a TwitchCon after the second? And also, by the way, as a streamer, these are things that I hear about a lot. Other people have been sexually assaulted at previous TwitchCons. They've been roofied. There's plenty of other really bad things that happened. A lot of these things have happened off of the Twitch, convention center. So some of these are not technically Twitch's fault. But if Twitch doesn't know about this and they're not planning accordingly, well, then they're dumber than literally every single streamer on the platform that's ever been to TwitchCon. And that's not a very good state of affairs now, is it? So anyway, that's pretty much where things stand right now with Twitch. So you have, again, pedophile furries that are getting unbanned in less than one day. You have people going to the official Twitch convention with little to no security, being sexually assaulted. You have viewbotting that is effectively killing small streamers and ignoring large streamers. And you have moderation.
I feel like you said the viewbotting. There's an example, like the biggest offender was Facts for Life, just because for the amount of people that was watching him, there was the smallest fractional amount of people actually talking in chat. Like, it didn't scale. Like, the amount of people talking didn't scale to the amount of people allegedly watching. So that's a whole thing.
That is so very obviously politically and socially motivated. I feel like they should just come out and say that they're sponsoring certain people, or maybe certain groups. I think one of those groups seems to be Hamas, unfortunately. And the truth is that I don't really see this getting any better until people actually start speaking out about it. And that's why I want to make this video and really explain the extent of how bad this is.
Oh, God. Everyone's mad at Twitch, but still streams there. Unless see real boycott. It's just an outrage farm. But that's the biggest problem, though, when it comes to like this commenter, because there's no good alternative to people who want to like simply stream. Because if you stream on, because like Twitch, who that originally was Justin.tv, I think. It's the fact that like it's a whole thing to where YouTube is a platform who mainly does video and benefits from streaming, but there's more people watching on Twitch than there are on YouTube, and Kick is a growing platform for people watching, even though the amount of creators on Kick is a fucking problem. So much so to where Johnny Somali is in court in Korea, and there's been cases where Ice Poseidon has been in trouble too. There was also a Kick streamer and Amaranth who went to TwitchCon protesting Twitch by also going there, but also dressed up as Hassan Piker and Kaya for the whole Collargate thing. It's a huge thing to where like it's unlikely. Like, you're not wrong to where unless I see a real boycott, nothing will happen, which is true. But it's going to be unlikely. What are the actual chances that Hassan and Valkyrie, Pokimane, Asmon, all the big streamers just stop streaming for a month? What's going to happen? That'll then push those smaller creators who don't know about this up higher, and it's still a huge thing to where it's very difficult to organize that kind of a boycott. The funny thing in this case is he actually costs Twitch a lot of money by streaming there. Wait, I don't understand that part. It would require a number of streamers to quit just to break even on what he loses them. I don't understand that. Yeah, same as every other person. Like, I don't get this guy. I'm just a small streamer from the Netherlands, but I feel like leaving Twitch for what it is after this happening at TwitchCon. I've seen enough crazy things on Twitch lately, and I'm starting to be afraid of having my name seen on Twitch. Let me just like also like. Yeah, because I'm just learning about it too. The worse admin. The worse. The worse Asmongold video quality is, the more important the message. Tectone buddy. Has Yeet talked about anything else? What the fuck? Hassan and Yeet in the next. Oh, that's funny. Oh, crazy to me that Twitch just straight up lied about protecting creators from sexual violence. The fact that an Amazon-owned company actively tried to cover up sexual assaults. Oh yeah.
I really would discourage other creators from going back to TwitchCon, not just because it was able to happen at all.
Yeah.
And what happened during it, and the aftermath. Like,
because we just saw a footage where, because like the thing is like just before this entire like tab, we just saw the blue plaided man allegedly just walk off the premise of the building, and as far as I know, he's never gone back inside. All they did was probably kick him out for the day, and he probably came back the day after. That is the worst thing about it, is that we don't know, because the Twitch let me look it up. Let's see if I can find it. Well, okay. Let's see what happened according to like NBC News. Okay. Cancel meet and greet or skip. Tries to crack down, which I don't believe. Statement on X. Twitch responds in a statement on X. Let's see it. What is the statement? The safety and security highest priority. Law enforcement and event security did not respond because we just saw him walk out, and all he did was casually walk away from it, and it was her security guard that pushed the guy away. We immediately blocked this individual from returning to the TwitchCon premise, and they are banned indefinitely from Twitch, both online and in person. Hard to believe. We are coordinating with the impacted creators team. Continue to operate. We have increased the security at the meet and greet attendee check-in point, and will have additional security personnel surrounding the participants and streamers. That feels like not true. Twitch allowed the assailant to walk originally, and was only pressed to apprehend him under Emery's managers pushing for it. The individual was allowed to walk originally. The Twitch allowed the assailant to bypass several barriers and creator lines. X coming in with the contacts. it's really important to us. I look forward to the discussion, to discussing the veracity of the statement. It's crazy. Promotes violence, doxing, death threats. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like even recently too, on funny enough, on Hassan Piker's like Twitch channel, on when he was streaming, twice he's promoted violence to two different people he doxed, and like it's crazy. Funny enough, all these things kind of happen on Hassan Piker's like Twitch channel, and like everybody knows it. I don't need to show proof of it. You can look at Zach. You can look, and like it's funny. It took until 1:30 in the morning to respond to this, and this is what you got. This platform does not care about creators. Hold on.
Have him at TwitchCon anymore. I don't think that's true. Okay, maybe I should talk about this. Whatever. Who cares? I had a security guard 2 years ago where there was a guy following me around TwitchCon.
I wish the volume quality was higher.
My guard asked him, and the guy wouldn't stop. So he grabbed the guy, but he didn't like hurt him. He was just holding the guy until like the con security came. And then for some reason they're like, yeah, because your security guard touched him, he's like permabanned from the venue forever. But he didn't even hit him or anything. He just like held him while they waited for like the police to come. And what the fuck? And it was like my favorite security guard. I can't have him at TwitchCon anymore. I was just okay, like it was so sad because he did like everything.
Like that is crazy. The fact that he did everything to take care of Emmy. And he was permabanned because he did his job. That is crazy. Like that's crazy. The fact that this happened, the memes from Hassan is like it's terrible. The fact that. I'm so tired of Collargate. Oh, I'll get to you later, Asmund. Don't you worry. I'll get to you later. But yeah, no. I think that is as much of everything that I want to cover from all that. But let's now we get to be a gamer. We get to like be excited for games now. I want to go ahead and just start looking at game trailers because I missed out the past 2 months on game content from Gamescom, and I missed out on Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show. Let's finally check out this trailer because I've never watched it before. Oh, they're going full blood with like red Omega, I think too. That was Omega Red. Wait, hold on. Wait. Okay. Omega Red's fighting now. Okay.
Been fighting longer than I can remember.
Oh, the blood, baby.
I'd like to say I'm not a violent man. The trouble just has a way of finding me. But I'd be lying. Doesn't matter where I go
he fighting here other than is it?
Death's always waiting. Just not for me.
Who is he fighting though? Like, what is the enemy? Oh, hey Rose, hey Mystique.
'Cause I ain't no hero. I'm Wolverine.
The Sentinel? Oh, there's a sun. Why is it 4 hours? Let's stop that for a second. Why is it this a 4-hour video? Let's check that out. Let's check that out at another time just because, like, that's really cool.
Been fighting longer than I can remember.
There's a certain beauty to art. But let's watch this thing right afterwards. Hold on, let me see.
The question that comes up a lot to us at Insomniac Games is, are you going to make a Wolverine game that is as violent, as visceral as the character in the comics?
Yeah, I think so.
Working with Wolverine is interesting because part of the root to who he is that he's an unreliable narrator. He has gaps in his memory. So Wolverine doesn't really remember a lot of his life, and that's got to be an extremely frustrating aspect.
He's this ball of rage and fury, but then...
For them to play on the fact that he's not a reliable narrator because of the gaps of memory, because if I understand this correctly, from the dawn of time, Wolverine's been a character to where he allegedly grew up during the colonial age. He lived through that period. He met a girl. And then they shook up his brain to where they destroyed the brain. But because of his innate, like, mutant abilities, it regenerated. But by that brain exploding, that version... that memory of Logan disappeared, and so we have a person who has like spaces in his brain because he takes all this abuse, you know, like his body's constantly experiencing trauma, whether it be physical, mental, like damage. He is a victim to these types of like experiences. So this is wild.
He could turn on a dime, and he could be very, very kind and tender in the next moment.
When we're casting for someone like Logan, what we're looking for in character traits are someone who can convey a lot with very little being spoken.
When you have that first moment that we show in gameplay, there's so much emotion that you can feel behind his eyes. He looks relentless, he looks greedy, he looks angry, but also he looks maybe a little sad.
That level of acting and being able to just deliver that performance with believability across both spectrums was something Insomniac, ourselves, we all agreed he's the one. We don't need to see anybody else.
And they're not wrong. It takes a lot of challenges to simply just like make someone like feel believable audibly, because it's one thing to animate a voice and to animate like facial expressions, the way the eyes flicker, the way the like ears like tense up, the way the scowl has. There's certain facial features that expresses 60 to 80% of your language, and the remaining 40 to 20 is just how you enunciate your words themselves.
Hey, I'm Liam McIntyre, and I play James Logan Howlett in Marvel's Wolverine. That's not bad. That one sort of works. Fans out there know what Wolverine is, who he is. My job is to try and find the essence of who Wolverine is, especially as he applies to our story. People hurt him, people take from him, people betray him. He still fights for people who can't fight for themselves. It's one of the greatest honors of my life, one of the biggest responsibilities I've ever had, and one of the coolest things I've ever got to do.
The entire game is built around staying true to the Wolverine experience.
And then how do we want to put our Insomniac stamp on that? How do we want to put our own spin and creativity, but still give something new and fresh the fans are going to be excited about?
It's the full package. It is a level of detail that we've never been able to do.
I'm pretty excited to see what they
You could see it in the trailer. You can see pores. You can see blood in between the little lines of his teeth. I love the attention to detail.
It's exciting that we're going to be able to bring that kind of fidelity to players.
It's a character who goes places through the comics.
You'll see the Canadian wilderness, you'll see Japan.
There's a shot where Logan is sliding down that rooftop, and you can see the breadth of for in Lowtown.
It's always nice teasing the depth and amount of kind of fidelity to players.
It's a character who
Why
goes
is the video
places through the
flickering?
comics.
You'll see the Canadian wilderness, you'll see Japan.
There's a shot where Logan is sliding down that rooftop, and you can see the breadth of for in Lowtown.
It's always nice teasing the depth and amount of characters that we'll be seeing in the game. Omega Red makes an Mystique is there, and there are some hints to other characters that fans of Wolverine will recognize for sure.
Another visual element of Marvel's Wolverine is the blood. The blood tech that was put into this game is pretty phenomenal.
There's a part in the trailer where Logan jumps down and then he does the claws up through the face. That one I thought maybe was going to be taking it too far, but I am so glad that we have it. It looks fantastic.
Wolverine's combat, making
It's
that
something
special,
he
making
would
that feel
do,
like
though.
him, making it feel different to anything else you've played. That's a tough job. What's so cool for me is there was this one section of the game I got to try. It was just visceral and immediate and so incredibly satisfying, and I was like, this is
What's
gonna be
up with the video?
amazing.
We're pretty excited about.
Let me see if I can like refresh it and see if that does anything.
The question that comes up a lot to us at Insomniac Games is, are you going to make Wolverine will recognize for sure?
Another visual element of Marvel's Wolverine is the blood. The blood tech that was put into this game is pretty phenomenal.
There's a part in the trailer where Logan jumps down and then he does the claws up through the face. That one I thought maybe was going to be taking it too far, but I am so glad that we have it. It looks fantastic.
Wolverine's combat, making that special, making that feel like him, making it feel different to anything else you've played. That's a tough job. What's so cool for me is there was this one section of the game I got to try. It was just visceral and immediate and so incredibly satisfying, and I was like, this is
what's
gonna
up
be
with the video
amazing.
quality? That's weird.
We're pretty
I'm
excited
not
about the
only
artwork
one,
that
right?
we're using on the cover. It's dynamic, it's rough-edged. You notice it doesn't look like our past games. It has that sense of urgency and forward movement and rage and fury, and that's Wolverine.
One of the cool things about Insomniac is they are probably the most collaborative group of people I have ever worked with. They make you feel part of their team. That's not something you always get.
We've been in a creative collaboration with Insomniac Games and PlayStation for over a decade now. We've made some of the greatest superhero games of all time, and that was always the goal. Making games that are...
I will argue that like the first Insomniac Marvel Spider-Man game, fantastic. The second one, I would say this Marvel Spider-Man 2 had a very like as a viewer of the property, not a gamer. I haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet. I really want to play it. I could not play it because you can't play it on the PlayStation 4, I believe. But as a viewer of Spider-Man 2, it was very difficult to watch as a person because it felt like they had a difficulty of framing the game to one direct story because they were trying extremely hard to split the attention and have a video game shared between two protagonists, and I find that that's the most difficult thing. The most difficult thing that came from Spider-Man 2 was the difficulty of splitting attentions between what Peter was doing and what Miles was doing, and during the times that Peter couldn't answer the phone call of Miles had to go through the feelings of rejection by not having the phone calls answered, and then come up with answers on his own to the point where later in the game Miles became his own independent person and respectfully says that Peter sucked for all the times that he tried to reach out for Peter and was stood up, to where again also Peter had the weirdest thing to where he was dealing with his friend coming back, the symbiote, and not being able to at the time to like express, hey, this what's going on to me, am sorry that I can't control it and stuff like that. And it's just it's really difficult and strange how like these things are constantly hitting each other at the same time. Really tough to say with Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man 1, real good.
Timeless.
I think fans are going to be excited, but I'm also really excited about it because I'm really proud of what we made. We are focused on making the best Wolverine game ever.
On behalf of everyone at Insomniac Games and the Wolverine team especially, we want to thank you for taking time to watch our trailer. We can't wait to show you more in spring of 2026.
Ooh, we'll see more in the spring? Okay.
Next year.
That is the thing that is really difficult to like really imagine, like what kind of game we're gonna be experiencing from Wolverine, because it's that's just the thing, because we're gonna be experiencing a violent game from Insomniac Games. Wolverine's gonna be a very violent game. It's gonna be probably a tale that's. The story is going to be very confusing if they write it incorrectly to where he's not a very reliable storyteller, and we're following him on an adventure to where he comes across Omega Red, which is a constant rival, and Mystique, which is a constant like, will they, won't they be friends today? Because there's a whole thing with the Brotherhood of Mutants. There's a whole thing with X-Men. Xavier's School for the Gift of Children, and then there's a whole thing with the X-Force. We don't know if it's like an X-Force game, but I'm pretty excited to be here for it. Wait, oh god, the stream happened. That's such a long time to wait for like. That's a long time. What is even this? Battlefield. Oh yeah, like I didn't plan on watching the Battlefield stuff because like ooh, first thing we get is Titty Mama. Oh boy. Jeez. I know that I'm already gonna be playing Code Vein 2, but I'm hit with titties from the get-go. Oh boy. But yeah, this is the trailer for Code Vein 2.
Another world snuffed from existence.
She's incredibly evil, but also...
Our focus, our true objective, is to save this world, our current world. Need I remind you that tampering with history is strictly forbidden?
Tampering with history. Makes me kind of wonder if she is like a neutral party, but warns us about the things about time travel. Wait, I was not paying attention. Okay, nice combinations. Ooh.
It's time I faced my past. Let's go.
Oh? Where did she disappear on? Is she blinking in and out of like... What's up with the blinking though?
Today, you'll pay your dues!
That's another titty buster. Okay, cool. That's a cool power. Okay, what is that? It's coming in January. Oh, that's super cool. Let's look at it again, but in slow-mo, because I want to get that. I want to see everything that this has to offer in halftime, and let's just mute it for a second. So we see her. There's tattooed writing on her body, but I don't know why. Like there's tattoos. There's scripture along her hands, her body. I'm sure if we take everything off, there's scripture everywhere. But like, jeez Louise. So, like, either she's a witness to it, or is she the cause of, like, the explosion? I cannot say. But we see an expansive world that looks like Europe still, which is very good. I like the Europe aesthetic. Or is it the U.S.? No, it's probably Europe. So we have the white-haired guy and the other girl. I don't know who that is, but she's the one that allows us to time travel. I know that much. So we're going to each of these like big orbs. That's my understanding. We're going to be time traveling, and we're going to go to key points that were the cause probably of the end of the world. So I'm wondering if she's going to be warning us, saying, hey, I don't care that you're trying to stop the apocalypse, but there are certain key people that you can't tamper the lives with. It's like saying, oh, we shouldn't kill Hitler, even though everybody wants to kill Hitler. But these special moves, that's pretty cool. It's like, hey, big sword, so there's an ability. But who's also this kid? There's a little bit of a titty. It's not a complete lobby. So are we just helping? So either we help certain people and then they become our like cowl and our ability to fight. That's interesting. Either we're summoning her and we're a vessel of their ability to be within this timeline, or because like they're showing multiple weapons like the spear, great sword, large axe. And we're probably helping with, and some of the side missions may include helping people with their requests, I guess. But that boss looks pretty cool. It reminds me of the Lothric fight, but not in the same way. Ooh, a big scythe mood using the cloth. That's really nice. That's real cool. And then we can't. Then there's something about the story where we can't interact with that particularly. Otherwise, bad things happen. Huh. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm excited for it. January 30th. Just coming to PlayStation 5. That also means, let's see. Code main 2. Devices. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via Steam. So I can play it on Steam. I'm excited that I can play it on Steam. Hold on. Code Vein 2. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. So far, no. Is there a demo available? No, but it's $70. This better be. Well, there are certain distractions that makes up for the $70. But also, let's check some of these pictures out. Okay. So, either you can summon a companion, or you sacrifice your companion for a better weapon from what it looks like. Because she was fighting alongside you with her greatsword. But I don't know what it means. What it will mean, at least. Because either your partner comes into you to give you like physical like weapon boost, or something else. I cannot say. Let's see. Oh, they did a recap video. Nice. Is the video just like crapping out because... Let's try this. This one's Saros, right? It's the same. It's the same people that created Returnals, I think. But that is pretty cool though. So it's like it's these travel through certain worlds and levels, and you're tasked with escaping, or a different premise than Returnal. Okay. That happens in March. Okay. What is this game? Zero. Oh, right. Zero. Paradise. It seems fun based on a storytelling strategic gameplay. Plane simulator. Farming simulator, maybe. Aerial simulator. Flight simulator. Okay. And there's Battlefield 6 that's already out right now. Battlefield or like I don't know what fighting what yeah, Battlefield 6. Okay. It already came out. Which apparently people were saying is really good apparently. Day X remaster. That's interesting. That looks pretty fun. Ooh, this is Neo 3. That's exciting. I think we have a video up for that. It goes through multiple timelines? Interesting. Hold on. So Sengoku 1572, Edo 1622, Heian area. Ah, that's sick. And then, hey, there's also Code Vein. Sorry, I got to get banana because I'm hungry. I got a banana plan. I'm only banana plan. You're not gonna hear me eat my banana. It's a silent food. It's a silent treasure. Silent treasure, excuse me. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics is out. Hold on. Can I play this on Switch? Okay, I can play it on the Switch. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's all I need to know. Oh, fuck. Chronoscript, the endless end. Okay. What is this? What are you? Is it Vinland Saga? No. What is this? A mechanical dragon? Crimson Desert, okay. Oh yeah, wireless speakers for PlayStation, okay. That's pretty cool. AI use. Don't support PlayStation, they're using AI. Yeah. Oh, Forza. Nice. I thought about Gran Turismo. I'm sorry. I did. It's funny because when I was younger, I was so into racing games. I thought that was gonna be my career choice, but I didn't. At the time of being like 9 years old, I didn't really know what it took to like, hey, let's go find a place to practice driving, and see if this is the kind of hobby you want to be a part of. That never happened. I was always laughed at by my mom by my mom mostly. And then you get a God of War controller. Then the Wolverine trailer at the end of the whole thing that was really fun to look at. Hell yeah. All the parts of it I'm excited for, but I'm holding like suspect judgment just because we don't know what we're looking at for sure. Because all we get is a trailer, but we don't know anything about it. We don't know a whole lot about it, that's the issue. Yeah. But otherwise, hell yeah. What? Let's check this boy out. I hear music.
I who will be Shogun.
Kurimatsu, why? You'll never understand what it means!
A fallen brother less of darkness. A shogun cast from throne.
I'm Himiko. On my honor as queen, I shall defeat Hiroko.
My timeless friend, I trust you. Nothing will stop me from becoming Shogun.
So long as this dark radiance exists, my fights will continue.
Are we going to be revisiting the past?
One must prove their might.
The light of hope lies unseen at the end of time. Go now!
You wish to become Shogun that badly?
Maybe you don't want it enough. What makes a Shogun anyway?
Takachio! Strength and superiority are what make a Shogun, and I have both! Strength alone is not enough to end this war! Strength alone is not enough to end this war!
Again, what's up with the video call? Like, what's going on here? That is the weirdest thing. It keeps trying to give me trailers, but it forgets that I have an account that has premium. I have premium, so let's play it normally.
Who will be Shogun? I who will be Shogun.
How's that?
Who will be Shogun?
Kurimatsu, why? You'll never understand what it means!
Wait.
What it
will be Shogun.
Kurimatsu,
wait, hold on.
Why? You'll never understand.
If I look at this correctly, this Ieyasu?
It means.
And that looks like Hanzo. That looks like Hanzo from the second or first game. What?
I am Himiko. On my honor as queen, I shall defeat Hiroko.
My timeless friend.
Wait.
My honor as queen, I shall defeat Hiroko.
My timeless.
Also, this entire guy is from the DLC of Neo 2, I think.
Friend, I trust you. Nothing will stop me from becoming Shogun.
The hero
so
transformed
long as
into
this dark radiance exists, my fights will continue.
Is that Sakanada? Nakamura?
To rule, one must prove their might.
The light of hope lies unseen at the end of time. Go now!
Okay.
You wish to become Shogun that badly?
Maybe you don't want it enough. What makes a Shogun anyway?
Takachio! Strength and superiority are what make a Shogun, and I have both!
Is that the
alone is not enough to end this war!
Let's check this out again because I need to figure out, like, I want to see the bits just to really figure out what I'm properly staring at.
Who? So
we have your friend. We have a brother and a friend who's been taken over by some kind of, like, a yokai-inspired thing. we have people that we're familiar with. I'm familiar with possibly Tokugawa, or maybe that's an early Nobunaga. And then this is definitely Hanzo. So he lost in darkness for some reason. He is. Now we have a guy who's been kicked out of the house. Oh, I wonder if I remember this correctly. The ancient queen and that person was mentioned in previous titles, I think. This feels like a Back to the Future adventure, to where you're going to the previous games during their key moments of combat, and you're helping or fighting separate people to maintain the timeline. Is it kind of like an Electric Boogaloo, to where like you travel back in time to help maintain the timeline? Otherwise, you're gonna end up in the shit timeline that you have right now. That is interesting to look at, because like we have several people who, so we have that person and this person. It looks like you merged with your yokai or something. It looks like a gauntlet of like challenges we're looking ahead to. You're fighting a thing. Okay, cool. Wait. So by doing this, I guess you would then fix it looks like you're going back in time to you're going to a fixed point in time, and you're fighting the what's the word? Aberration? Not apparition. There's a wrinkle in the timeline that you gotta fix. And then you're fighting all these yokai. Your yokai turns into a weapon themselves, which is really interesting. Because in the first game, the yokai, you would have your spirit go into the weapon, like Shaman King. And then in Neo 2, you turn into a yokai for an empowered state. This time it adds another feature between that and ninja mode, is my understanding. You have two different modes to then gain benefit from traditional and ninjutsu combat, I guess, which is really cool. There's a Tengu, Ieyasu symbol. You're fighting against your brother for the sake of the timeline. Ooh, wait, hold on. Who are you? We have a busty yokai. I'm excited for that. Hold on. Let me see if I can't see that at a quarter speed. We don't know a lot of details about the whole thing yet. Yeah, but so far, I'm super excited for Neo. I saw boobs in several places. Yeah, Neo 2's combat made me feel like a god. I'll be playing. Yoshitsune, was that right?
Queen, I shall defeat Hiroko.
My timeless friend.
Yoshitsune. I'm not. Oh, Yoshitsune might be from the. Yeah, he's from the DLC. So I don't know him very well, but I know of him. That's exciting. Oh, that's right. There was a whole Fire Emblems thing. I will check that out later. I'm feeling a little eepy, and I want some rest before my sister comes over because we're gonna have like a whole movies night thing. We're gonna be hanging out, but yeah, I'm happy I saw a lot of games. I'm happy that I learned more about what happened with Emmy. Creators going to an event, whether it's PAX, MagicCon, things of big crowds, they should feel safe to come to that event. Otherwise, what is the point? If they don't feel safe, they're nothing better than just used napkins at that point, right? So I hope Emmy gets the help that she needs, and I hope things get better from there. But I can't say. I'm not Dan Clancy. So in the meantime, thank you. I will stream next time. I'll come back next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.